Hi guys, welcome back to Rev Solution. Today's video I'm going to run you through 5 things I absolutely hate about my Kawasaki GTR 1400. Now these are just personal to me, then obviously things that everyone hates, but this is what I found really frustrating about this motorcycle. So let's jump on it, take it for a ride, and I'll let you know what I do not like about this bike. Alright, so the first thing that I am not keen about when it comes to the Kawasaki GTR 1400, and I have owned this for 5 months now, and in that 5 months I've put about 5,000 miles on the clock, so I've got a fair share of experience riding this bike. The first thing that I do not like about this bike is the fact that the heat from the engine is so intense. It pushes right back onto your legs and just cooks you alive. Honestly, this bike gets so unbelievably hot, it's unreal. It is just, it's not fun. When you're riding in the summertime and it feels like someone's got it's not even like a hairdryer, it is literally like someone's got a heat gun up and down your shins, it becomes unbearable. Now with the GTR like Mark II version, you could say, they actually rectified this issue by cutting like a bigger, wider fairing, so you could actually vent the heat out a lot easier, which made the bike a lot cooler for the rider. But the Mark I prefer the look of the Mark I to the Mark II, but yeah, you are literally baking whilst riding this in the summertime. In the cold, it actually does the opposite. It makes you feel really good because it warms your legs up. But yeah, in the summertime, in the warm temperatures, yeah, you really do feel that heat absolutely pumping down into you. So that's quite uncomfortable. Next thing that I'm not overly keen about on the GTR is the buffeting from the windscreen. Now this has an electric windscreen, and as I will show you now, it's just on the switch here. Bring it down and raise it back up. That is fantastic, but for some reason it just buffets really bad in its up position. Now I'm only 5'8", so it doesn't cause me too much of an issue in my face. It's more of the noise in the top of my helmet. You can really hear it buffeting around really loud. So all I need to do is get like a little deflector to sit on top, push that wind up nice and high, and it should completely alleviate that issue for me. So it's not an issue that can't be resolved, it's just from standard it's a bit annoying. Now another issue about the GTR, and this is quite a big issue, this is a very common fault with the 1400s. This bike weighs best part of 300 kilograms on its own. You put a rider on top, you're looking at pushing it to 400 kilograms. That is a hell of a lot of weight for this bike to stop. Therefore it struggles on the standard discs that Kawasaki have given it, and they warp so easy. I was riding this for only, well, I don't even know how long it wasn't long, and the discs warped. So that is really frustrating. It is a very well known fact with the Kawasaki GTR 1400. Not too sure about the Mark II, but the Mark I definitely has that issue. Speaking to somebody who used to work for Kawasaki, apparently they had always in stock some uprated EBC brake discs and pads, because the bike just cooked those pads. They were just not fit for purpose. Now you're looking at about £400 to £500 for a better set of discs and pads. That's just for the parts. If you're going to get someone to fit them, it is not going to be a cheap fix, and it needs to be done. So that is very frustrating that Kawasaki gave the bike rubbish discs, probably trying to save money. So that's another thing I absolutely hate about this bike. The discs are not fit for purpose, and let's face it, when you're riding a bike with a 1400cc engine that really can shift, you're going to want to make sure your brakes are in tip-top condition. Now, another thing I really do hate about this bike is the fact that the labour charge for doing anything on this bike is astronomical, and that is because there's so much plastic on this bike. Literally, when I put the crash bungs on and put the cameras in this bike, it took so long getting all the plastic off to get that sorted. So therefore, when you take it anywhere to get those spark plugs done or anything like that, you are going to be paying an absolute fortune on the labour charge to get that sorted, which is really frustrating. Now, finally, the last thing that I'm not overly keen about with this bike is the fact that it's got a keyless ignition. Now, it's a keyless ignition, but look, I need the key to open up, I'll put that in there, open up the fuel tank. Or there's always a key. Well, that spat out quite a bit, didn't it? This must have been sucking down fumes. So E10, E5, E10, because I put a tank of fuel in this yesterday and I've already rinsed it out 180 miles. Yeah, so the keyless ignition is, I guess, a good concept for Kawasaki to run with to start. However, I think it was a bit before their time, because you still need a key in the bike. You still need a key to access the tank. Whereas you look at today, you've got all these other manufacturers that are running keyless bikes, and you haven't got to faff around turning a key behind the phone and everything. So that is really, really frustrating with the Kawasaki. Another weird thing is when you fuel up the bike, you can feel the fuel going in. Your legs get very, very cold on that tank. If you can see it going in, but yeah, it's a nice brief relief from the warm weather and the warm bike, because like I said, this is really, really uncomfortable when you're riding it in the warm weather. So, and then there you go, take the key out. I've got to put the key back in here, faff around a bit more, shut that down, lock it all up. It's just, for a keyless ignition, it is a pain in the backside. But yeah, 19 litres. I really need to run this bike dry and see how much it actually takes, because I've never run it dry and I'm always hovering around the 200 mile mark out of a tank. So yeah. Ooh, diesel on the floor, that's good, isn't it? Right, let's go and pay for this. So pump number 4, there we go, all fueled up again. The GTR is really good on fuel to a degree, but let's face it, it's a big old engine, so it does drink. But there you go, that is my 5 things at the moment that I do not like. I mean, look at this. Right, so it's a keyless ignition. You got to press down with that, turn it over, and it gives you your ignition. So it is really, really frustrating, but nevertheless, trying to slip up in that diesel, because you have to put my foot on it and it's very, very slippery. Let's try and get around without slipping on the diesel. Alright guys, so thank you for watching this video on the 5 things I hate about the Kawasaki GTR 1400. Let me know if you've ridden this bike, let me know if you own one of these bikes, let me know what you think I should add into another video about what I don't like on the Kawasaki GTR 1400. I'm going to do another video what I do like about the GTR 1400. In all fairness, I'm going to pull over somewhere in a minute and record that, so stay tuned for that new video coming out soon. But I don't hate the Kawasaki, I do like it. I can't really knock it. That's just me being a little bit picky with those things that I'm not too keen about. But let's face it, it is an awesome, awesome motorcycle. If you're thinking about buying one, definitely have a look at getting it. Take one out for a test ride if you can. and I guarantee you will not be disappointed. But if you do buy one, make sure you get one with the luggage, because why would you want a Kawasaki GTR 1400 without luggage? Alright guys, I'm going to sign off there. Right, safe, take care, and I'll see you soon.